I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be able to speak today. And before I read what I have written, I just want to say that if my children could articulate so well what this gentleman just did, I'd sleep better at night. I have pretty severely nonverbal children that I'm talking about. I like to know the cause because I want to stop it from happening for other parents and children. The numbers of children being diagnosed continue to rise with little being done to find the cause of the cure. Everyone seems to be moving at such a leisurely pace. We need to call this the epidemic that it is. My children acquired autism via toxins. We know that based on medical tests and that these toxins were vaccines. Something needs to be done to prevent other children from such injuries. I know that at least one of my children's doctors has spoken here in the past and has mentioned medical tests that can be done starting at the pediatrician's office. In case you forgot what these tests are, and I'm not going to take the time to go into them, I have brought a couple journey guides that put them forward. I'd like to give one to the pediatrician as soon as I'm done. And if anybody else wants one, I will provide one free of charge. Just let me know, give me your name and number, and I'll get that to you. I've written my name and phone number on the inside cover, so if you have any questions, you can call me and I'll go through anything with you. My children have no future. They are extremely affected. They do not talk. And that needs to stop. It was brought to my attention that some of the studies that this community uses to base certain opinions were falsified and corruption was taking place. People need to be held accountable because children continue to get harmed. Also, any of the numbers that you read on vaccine injury don't include my boys. Any numbers you read on autism don't include my boys. If they don't include these boys, how many thousands of children are you leaving out of these numbers? These are people, and they deserve a chance. As these studies have been skewed, we need to question the validity of them by people who have gains of financial ties and conflict of interest. I was personally asked to remove my son from a study at Kennedy Krieger with Dr. Landa because my son was negatively affecting the findings. During that time period, a geneticist at Hopkins who studied my boys told me he was not publishing some papers on autism because he was scared of the repercussions. He told me certain key aspects of my son's medical conditions were going to be omitted from their file. Not because they were not accurate, but because he said he didn't know who I was going to show them to. Not only do my children not count, they suffer for the benefit of the greater good. Some committee members have said that I am a parent grasping for false answers and looking to blame. I wish I had the luxury to go to bed with the peace of mind that my children were born with autism, that it was like Down syndrome. But I know better. I did not seek a mitochondrial diagnosis. I walked into a hospital with a child who had developed normal, got sick, regressed, developed autism. They told me toxins caused it. Now I know better, and I must speak for future generations. You have the power and the authority to move forward on change. Sit and think where your moral compass is. Are you going to be part of the problem or part of the solution? My children suffer daily. One little thing I'd like to suggest for further meetings that is a huge hindrance for my family is that my children continue to be treated like fifth-class citizens. I can't take them out in public. Here are 3 examples. My 9-year-old lost the tip of his finger while he was doing special needs hockey. When we were in the ER, they said that because he had autism, it wasn't worth sewing back on, that normally they'd do a graft. This was at Virginia Hospital Center. My 6-year-old, when we were traveling, walked through TSA. He has a tracker on him given by the sheriff's office. He set off the alarms, and because he didn't have the verbal understanding, and I was not allowed to touch him, to be told to go over to the side, he was treated as hostile and thrown in a box by TSA agents. I wrote a letter of complaint, but TSA investigates TSA complaints, and they found they were not at harm. One more thing before. I had 3 therapists tell me that one of the therapists had been abusing my children. I called the CPS and the police, and even though I had 3 witnesses, no charges were filed because my child couldn't describe what happened, and he didn't look traumatized. The abuse and the trampling of basic human rights for these children and others needs to stop. Please consider talking about that and trying to make change. Thank you.
Thank you.